Oh, okay. Honestly, I got this idea because I was watching a video where a guy was critiquing the leadership in the show The Wire, show I've never watched in its entirety, and barely watched an episode. Um, it made me think about January 6th. Oh man, sorry, I'm just burping a lot. Okay. Ooh man, I feel a little bit of heartburn. Oh well. But I wanted to say, what was gonna happen? You know, and I think about it in terms of what he was saying with leadership. Where was this guy? He was talking about Prop Joe, and I've never watched the show, but it was very interesting to say the least of how this guy was just kind of malaising along, was just kind of knew enough to BS his way through to keep going and to maintain what he had, not necessarily rise up, but was able to kind of stay where he was and float along for long enough, of course, until he was killed, his character. But anyway, beyond that, it made me think somewhere in my schizo brain, what was going to happen on January 6th? They had the gallows. They had, of course, they always show, oh, they had the zip ties ready. And what happened? What happened? And where did it go wrong? I would say what really went wrong, I mean, a lot of people can just say, well, the fact they did it. But I think where they really went wrong was they only stormed the Capitol. They didn't go into any of the buildings. They didn't, try to track down who their real enemies were. It was just mud Dems are bad, basically. And of course, you know what? I'll just give into the narrative and say, yeah, Trump had something to do with it when he said those things. But the thing is, though, what happened? Well, they went in, they LARPed, they sat in the chairs, they had the guy with the headdress and all that, and all that business. And they LARPed around. And of course, people like Ashley Babbitt got killed. Of course, MAGA Pete's are still coping about it. The thing is that she poked her head in, Air Force veteran. I would assume, if she was in the Army, she would know a little bit better, or the Marine Corps. You'd think you'd know a little bit better. It's like you don't just stick your head in there, But anyway, stick your head in, get shot in the neck and all that. That lost a lot of momentum, whatever momentum there was. And as far as I know, they weren't even anywhere near the places that there were, of where the, Congress critters were. This is an awful plan. An awful plan. It was just, people think of it as such an awful, scary thing. It was that's just a dress rehearsal, I think. And I think that anybody worth their salt, someone much smarter than me, is going to be really analyzing what occurred on January 6th and say, okay, this is where they went wrong. Now, of course, they're not going to go for the Capitol again. They know that was a once in a lifetime sort of deal. At least for now. When things change, then we'll see. But I think right now, of course, National Guard is still around. There's still the, there's a ton of security. Imagine there's a lot of folks waiting around. You can't just have some spur of the moment sort of thing. It comes down to planning. Even the Black Panthers had a little bit better idea of what to do when they got to Sacramento, right? The thing is taking capitals, I think, is important, obviously. We even saw that with the Euromaidan in 2014. But I think it's not as important as other things, maybe, I think, it didn't matter whether it would have been, left-wing or right-wing folks that were leading that, attack on the Capitol. What would it have done? If this was sort of a, Operation Valkyrie type of thing, the thing is that they were still stopped because they had, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of his name now. Colonel, let's see here. Valkyrie. I'm trying to think of who in the world. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of his name. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all are like, holy shit, can you get it together? It's like y'all already know. The guy from the Grossdeutschland division. He was a colonel at the time. Henning von Schliskow, von Kluge. Previous failed attempts. Okay, preparations. Heinz Horner. Berchtesgaden. Helmut Stief. Let's see here. Okay. Colonel Schubnagel. Failure of the coup. Joachim. Oh my goodness. Colonel General Franz Halder. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do I need to waste more time here? I'm trying to think of it now. Let's see here. Division. Operation Valkyrie. There we go. Otto Rehmer. There we go. Otto Rehmer. Of course, who later went on to try to start a far-right party in Germany. And of course, that was, yeah. But, yeah, he was really the one who became, the resistance to say, no, I don't believe you. And they, ultimately, he was the one that really kind of put the brakes on things. And of course, then once we found out that Hitler was still alive, then everything was reversed. And yeah. Anywho, what would have happened? It was all just kind of typical, like, oh, we're going to scare people by building the gallows, this and that. And we have zip ties and but they didn't try to track anybody down. They broke in, of course the media was there to pump them up and everything else. They're taking our country away and all this, of course, all the old boomers and whatnot, many of whom are, probably sitting in jail now. But, what would they have done? Just stayed there and been like a Chaz or something like that? No. I mean, there was no thinking behind it. It was just, well, Trump said this, allegedly, and we're going to go in and storm the Capitol. It's just, I don't know. It makes you think, nonetheless, of what their actual plan was, comparatively to what the Euromaidan was, compared to, what the Black Panthers did in Sacramento, which I have no idea about. But, it really makes you think of, what were they going to do? And it wasn't going to be much in reality, if you want to think of it in a pragmatic way. And of course, people are still breaking it down. People are still looking for these things. People are still saying, well, white nationalism is the number one thing. From who? What, the TRS folks? Come on. You got to be kidding me. National Socialist Movement doesn't really exist the same way it did, Is there going to be a new National Socialist movement that's going to rise up? I don't know. From these, 2-bit Wignads that are out there. I don't know. Like I say, people they're still going to be investigating it. They're still going to, honeypot folks and all this, of course. But the thing is, I really don't see, Wignats really making an effort on a national scale. I really don't. Yeah, they can win local victories to a point, but I think that there are enough folks on YouTube and, Twitch and whoever else where if they smell any sort of, white nationalism, you're going to be busted, and, you're going to end up, in the same place as people like Little, yeah, they're going to end up in the same place as them. So it's just like, where are you going to go? But the same thing goes for, hardcore lefties. It's like, well, a lot of that energy has been dissipated because of Biden. And of course they'll say, ooh, Biden didn't do good things, but they still support him. And of course, this is a huge blow. This is a huge blow to them. Where are they going to find that energy? That's the real thing, isn't it? I mean, people can keep on talking about Portland. I mean, who cares at this point? Portland is just going to keep on burning. Portland in general is just, they could probably break it off and, where's it going to go from here? Yeah, I mean, it's the same old stuff. It's just boomers that get out. I mean, I was watching this video from this one Wignac guy who's still on YouTube, amazingly. And he was just showing this video of this old disabled Marine, as he says, driving through Portland there, and Antifa is shouting at him this and that. It's just like, why would you? And then he gets out and he's going to try to pick a fight with him. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? It's like, don't do that. Jeez Louise. I don't know. I'm no expert on strategy or anything else like that, as y'all know, but daggum, you got to come up with a better plan than that. Oh, man. Anyway, I think that's all I have. I will be doing a stream. I'm going to see if they let me play it, but a video about Weimar. And, I'm going to try to make a comparison here just from this documentary. Talking about Berlin primarily, but still, I'm going to see how it goes. Anyway, I hope you'll enjoy that. See you later, and goodbye.